hearing it around Tenafly, she did hear it, but she did not make it up.
Started, right.
But she brought it onto the show.
Correct.
Because if it's said and no one hears it on the TV, it doesn't really matter unless it's on. But so she brought it onto the show, and then what? It's that the Jackie's sister knew this alleged woman, and they were going to bring Jackie's sister on, and then what? Jackie put her foot down and said, "I don't want her on. My own sister."
No, I don't even know if Jackie knew about any of that, or that was just, Margaret fantasizing. But she was saying, I don't know. I think they might bring the sister on. So, but I don't know much about her relationship with her sister or any of that. I'm just repeating what I was told.
I mean, going to executives, that's pretty, I don't know. That's like, you don't go to producers, you don't go to senior producers, that you go right to the Bravo executives. That's pretty ballsy.
Well, yeah. I mean, she probably sent her husband over to, make a table for them or fix their air conditioning, because that's what she does. That's how she, promises people things and makes it like she's a really good friend to them. And then, she thinks she has an in with them.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Do you want to continue your list, Kim, of what she said about other people?
Are you kidding me? Absolutely. Listen, even though Dolores is my dear friend, it's not any of us saying anything bad about her. I would love to know what she says about Dolores.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. I'm just going to preface with this, because I happen to really, really like Dolores a lot. And I felt that the feeling was mutual. She used to tell me all the time how much she loved me.
Okay.
I then later heard that she was, telling these girls not to believe anything that I was saying, and, whatever. I guess she listens to Margaret, but Margaret did say that they had a producer who was now an ex-producer, and it used to drive Margaret crazy because she would say, Dolores is such an ass kisser. She is so afraid. She hits like on all of her posts when I tell her that she shouldn't be doing it. And again, it's Margaret saying Dolores should do what she wants her to do. Why?
Right.
Why does everyone have to do what Margaret wants them to do?
Unbelievable. Well, I'm not surprised. I'm definitely not surprised. Did she have any opinions on Paulie? I'm just curious. I never talked to you about this, but did she have an opinion on Paulie?
I wasn't friends with Margaret anymore by the time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I happen to like him. I think he's good for her. Anything else that you?
Well, I was going to say, there is this narrative on the show that Margaret has something, she collects and digs, and Danielle's like, I don't want her going there with me. So technically, I'm assuming she has this kiss on Melissa, which Melissa now can't say goodbye because that would, admit it. I guess she has the Evan cheating rumor on Jackie, which I guess if Jackie says F you, it's almost like admitting it. So what does she have on Dolores?
I'm not going to go there.
I know. Listen, I don't want her to go there. I know what you have on Dolores, and I know what I know.
I didn't tell you what I didn't tell you.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Somebody else told me, and I would never reveal it, and I wouldn't reveal it on this podcast.
It sounds like it's pretty dark.
Well, some people might think it is. I don't think it's so dark. I don't think it's a big deal. But, Dolores is a really good person, and she has a very good reputation and whatever. And you know what? There's certain things she'd like to keep to herself. But Margaret does have, and Margaret has talked to people about this, and they've come to me, and they know that I'm Dolores' good friend. I wouldn't even bring it up to Dolores. I wouldn't, but I know there is something. And so we'll just leave that at that.
We can just leave it at that, but I have a question.
Yeah.
Does Dolores know that Margaret has this thing on her?
Yes.
That's a question for Laura. Yeah. Yes. Right, Laura? Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's technically on the show, this narrative, that's why a Dolores would fall in line as well, of like, I don't want this out there. And
possibly.
Yeah,
possibly. That's a possibility. We're not sure. But again,
I have something to say.
Go ahead, David.
Now this is what happens when I record with Kim. I'm not drinking. I don't drink on air. I actually have
I
something
am
that she,
here.
cheers. I actually have something that she said about Dolores. That is the one thing I
Okay.
did think of.
I want you to say it.
The one thing, and just being honest, I'm honest to these listeners. The one thing she did, I mean, really, this is like in real time. I'm just thinking of this. The one thing she used to say about Dolores is, it is favored nation. So take Teresa's $2 million and Melissa's 1.5 out of it. It's like each person gets more based on the years that they're there, right?
Right. Right.
So Dolores makes more than Margaret because she was there for a year longer. So the one thing, I don't know if she ever said this to you, Laura, but see, now you're getting me in trouble here, people.
I'm already shaking my head. Yes.
She always said, she's like, can you believe Dolores fucking makes more money than me? I mean, I contribute so much more to the show than she does, but she does because did she say that to you too?
Yes.
All the time. Yes.
There you go. Okay. So there you go.
And I've actually never told you that. It's like, I'm literally just thinking of it now.
This is the first time hearing that. This is the first time hearing it. And again, Dolores and I don't talk about the show. We don't talk about Margaret. We don't talk about any of this. All right. What about, let's see. What about, what about Jennifer? Give me throw one thing out that she said that.
She's already done the ultimate. Come on. The affair wasn't enough. You want me to start?
The affair.
More?
The affair.
What about she smokes Teresa, Lane Louis? Does she have anything else? What does she have on them?
Does she have anything else that what did she say? Not that does she have anything else more on them? I know she does, because when Laura went to Jen and Teresa, she was telling them that she's coming out with more, that Margaret's coming out with more. So we know that
he was trying to dig on
he
was going to keep coming for him. I mean, specifically, do I know? No. I know that she was talking to people who knew Louis, and she was going to try to use it. And that's really what I was warning Teresa about. Just that be careful, because she's going to keep coming for him.
Right. Now, what about Melissa? Anything else besides her shore house, her boutique, the kiss in the back seat? Is there anything that she knocked Melissa about, that if you said it, it would ring a bell to Melissa that maybe only Margaret would know, or something like that?
Right. Like if Jackie really has sex with a t-shirt on, she's going to know it's real.
Yeah.
And by the way, I mean, I don't know, that to me is like Jackie has this, her storyline.
Right.
I mean, that does go to body issues. That's kind of, I would think.
Cuts deep.
I mean, that's kind of a deep thing to say.
Listen, I think I would wear a guinea tee or a bra or t-shirt because I think it's sexy. But I don't think Margaret was saying that for that reason. I don't think she was saying, oh, wow, Jackie's so sexy. She wears a t-shirt.
It was definitely not in that context.
I know that. We know that. Absolutely. I know. We know exactly where she was going.
Well, what about Melissa? Like anything else she have on her? Or
that she even just said about.
Or she said, besides Wayfair furniture and disgusting stuff that she sells at Envy.
I don't know if it was exactly Wayfair. She just said it was shit she buys online from Wayfair.
Yeah. And I happen to like Melissa's shore house. It's a lot nicer than the new house in Franklin Lakes. I mean, I think her shore house is cute.
Yeah. I'm sure that there's a lot of things. There were so many things that were said, and I'm trying to think, but that comes to mind right at this very moment. No.
Okay. All right. So let me talk about someone else that when you and I spoke about Julia.